to the final 10 minutes. While Andrew and I are talking and taking you through this wellness break, if you have a tablet by your side, if you can, by any chance, check out the reviews, and I'm happy to read a couple as well, because they are so powerful and so compelling. In fact, Andrew, do you mind if I read just one or two right now?
Okay, sure. I mean, they're compelling. I read some of them, and I think my family members must be writing them in.
Well, let me tell you, this is just a snapshot. People will write their life stories because they adore what your products have done for them. Okay, Tara in New York, let's start there. Cannot live without this. I cannot live without this product. It is a must for the winter. I have been surrounded by sick co-workers for 2 weeks now, and I still feel well. I have been taking this vitamin 2 times a day to be safe, and I feel amazing. Being surrounded by coughing and sneezing all day can make anyone feel vulnerable. I owe my good health in the winter cold months to this product. Let's do one more. This time, staying healthy with multiple exclamation marks. I started using this product last winter. Both myself and my husband and I now know that we cannot be without it. This product kept us healthier than we've been in a long time. It's easy on the stomach. It's everything Andrew says it is. I do not want to be without this product ever. I mean, Andrew, these are very big words. How does that make you feel to see and read that?
Well, it makes me feel proud of this product, but I think what I really want people to take away is not to have a sense that this is some magic medicine or drug. The most powerful force in the universe in terms of colds or flu, again, it's our immune system.
Yeah.
It's not a dietary supplement. It's our immune system. So what we have to do when these months come along is we have to figure out all the things we could possibly do to support our immune system. I talked about sleep. I've talked about in the past hydration, how we also have to make sure we drink plenty of fluids throughout the day. In the winter, heated rooms, it's very easy to become dehydrated. That affects our immune system. And then we want to make sure that our body is nutritionally sound. And this product is simply designed to be the foundation of nutrition that relates to the immune system and immune support in our body. It's a simple product. When I read the reviews, I mean, I get goosebumps.
Yeah.
But it's not that I make a magical formula. It's just that there are incredibly powerful tools available if someone tries to make a product that really pays attention to the science and how our body works.
I think one of the big things, one of the big reasons why so many folks are enjoying these wellness breaks is that we get to take a moment to kind of look into our own lives, into our own situations, and we have to accept that we do get stressed, we do get run down, we are busy, we have a lot to do, there's a lot on our mind. And Andrew, as you said, hydration, ensuring that you drink enough water, sleep, oh my gosh, obviously so key to this, and correct diet. I think all of that, if there's one message, and Andrew, clearly you've said it, it's to try and do what we can to have the right balance, and that's got to be the key word. And when you introduce immune factors into that, you've got synergistic benefits that are really going to help you and power you through these vulnerable months. And you know, you can read the reviews, yes, but I think for all of us, for something that is so inexpensive, for what it is, it really does make sense to bring this and make this a part of your routine. And Andrew, I suppose in some ways, every time we go to take our immune factors, it's a reminder to be good to ourselves in all those areas, food, sleep, and water.
Absolutely, and at least I've found, and I'm not sure if anyone feels the same way, pretty much throughout the year, but certainly throughout the fall and winter, there are always people around us that are suffering.
Right.
And what I've found is it's not all those people around me that determines whether I'm going to come down with something or not. What really determines it, because they're always around, you're going to run into them somewhere.
Right.
What really determines it is how well I'm taking care of myself. And it's kind of funny how if I spend too much time working and traveling and I'm not getting enough sleep, lo and behold, my immune system lets me know that I find it's not so much the fault of others about me getting sick or not. It tends to be my fault when I'm not taking care of my body, taking care of myself. And nutrition is just one part of the equation of what makes or allows our immune system to protect us its very best.
We have about 4 minutes left, and obviously our Immune Factors is our #1 seller. But Andrew, interestingly, our producer just told us that the vitamin C is selling equally at this stage. Why would you say that is?
Well, vitamin C is, I believe, among the most popular